Hello, people. In today's video, going to talk about different aspects of spirituality. Yeah, something like that. So something I want to talk about is how at a lot of spirituality or spiritual communities, there is this kind of underlying thread that people relate back to, you know, our ancestors did this, or the ancient times they did this. And I was thinking, why are we still doing things that our ancestors did or they did in ancient times? Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with doing some of the practices or rituals or continuing the ideas that some of our ancestors and ancient um, people had. But, and if you really think about it, if everything's happening simultaneously and time really is real, then are they really our ancestors? Is it a really ancient time, or is it just sort of in another dimension, reality, universe where that's all occurring? And since we perceive time as linear, we can't really act, in ways we can access it, but not, we can't like time travel back and be in the way that people think time travel to go live with those people. But shouldn't we be developing sort of a new spirituality with how our time, how we're living in our time right now, and not going back to these old ways? Maybe taking some things, but really reinventing it and going with what we're learning and what we've learned in the time that we live in now. Um, and you see a lot of people fearful of technology and what technology may bring, and kind of, what's the word? Um, I guess I'll just say like holier than thou, whereas like the spirituality that we practice can't be tainted with technology. That is not organic. I think some people use that term. And I would kind of disagree with that. Maybe the way, maybe the direction that we're going is the spirituality that will emerge is this kind of this combination of technology and spirituality. And I don't think that it's how it's used. There's nothing evil about technology. It's how the technology is used and how we use it to further develop and expand ourselves as human beings. Um, and what that looks like, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it could bring some very interesting advancements to the human race. Um, mainly with, I guess, AI. Is the big topic of discussion and how that's going to change us as humans. And I know there's a lot of fear behind it, but um, I think that fear is by design. So it makes people afraid to use it and not tap into the potential of it and the potential of, drastically advancing your life. So they create these kind of psyop fear campaigns around it, um, to keep people distracted from the truth, um, the truth of empowerment. And for people that kind of say technology, AI, or whatever is evil, I kind of think about it as like with electronic music, where people probably used to say, well, that's not gonna, it's gonna ruin. At one point, I'm sure people were saying electronic, like digital audio workstations, was going to ruin the purity of music. If you're not playing, well, I guess you could even take it a step back with like electrical instruments, like electric guitar, electric bass, electric piano. I'm sure people were saying at the time, like, this is going to ruin music. It's not going to be the same, but it just advanced music and created an expansion of how we can play music and creating new tones of music. And that's the same with like digital music. Um, it expands the realm of music. And I don't think electronic music is evil or soulless by any means. Um, I make a lot of electronic music, and I think it's very human and has a lot of soul. It's I think it depends on how you're using it and what you're putting into it. Um, One of the things I do is I create um, these kind of soundscape events where I use electronic ambient sounds mixed in with sounds from nature and everyday life and blend it together kind of for this ambient soundscape journey to allow people to travel in their internal world. And the feedback I've gotten from these soundscape events, these soundscape therapy sets that I'm creating for people is been very positive. People have had very deep, real experiences, feeling a wide range of emotions. Some people have said it's been extremely healing for them, very visual, like astral traveling and being very in the present moment and deep relaxation, all sorts of other things. But nobody has ever once said to me, like, oh, that's all electronic. And I was, it was like soulless or, whatever. No, that's never been the case. People are pleasantly surprised at how deep the blending of kind of this electronic digital music blended with natural sounds can take someone on such a deep journey. So I relate that to, spirituality and other forms of technology. It's how it's used, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think the blending of technology and nature has the potential to really evolve and expand the human consciousness in ways that we can't even imagine, um, because it hasn't happened yet. So I'm kind of interested to see more in this like future and developing technology and how that's going to evolve us as a human race instead of focusing on what our ancestors and people in ancient times did. I find that stuff fascinating too, but that stuff already happened or is happening. Um, so yeah, it's just let's see what our time is here to take us. What ride is our time here to take us on? And I think it's better to have kind of this open, curious mind instead of being kind of closed, restrictive, and fearful of what technology can bring. I think there is a lot of fear that people put out there because it's unknown and they don't know um, what it's going to bring. So the unknown can make people fearful. And I think it's better to push uh, an open mind and curiosity instead of fear-based closed-mindedness and this kind of restrictive way of looking at it just because you don't know what's going to happen. So, yeah, it's kind of my thoughts. Um, yeah, I just thought it's kind of interesting how you see so many people in the spiritual communities talk about oh, ancestors and ancient times, but never really talk about the future and what the future of technology and spirituality can hold for us, and how it's probably going to be very powerful, and it could be the thing, probably will be the thing that elevates the human collective consciousness to the next level. I think the combination of that with the combination of nature, because technology is nature. So that's kind of how I see it. I see the the mimicking of nature through technology, elevating the human consciousness at a extremely rapid rate in probably the next 10 to 20 years. We will see. I don't know what to say. I feel like it's just going to be mind blowing. Um, at the rate with AI technology, I just think we're going to see a huge leap in the evolution of human consciousness. Um, because we're becoming more and more connected through the internet and social media. Um, I mean, the internet is literally like the human collective consciousness. So, yeah, it's fascinating times we're living in right now. And it's exciting. It's very exciting. I think it's more exciting than fearful. And anybody that's kind of preaching fear or being fear mongering is someone you shouldn't be listening to. Um, that's my 2 cents. I think that's all I got for this video right now. Probably gonna make another one on something else. But yeah, hope you found my thoughts interesting. Not really sure kind of where that went. I don't know if any of that made sense. But anyways, hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night. And I'll be back with another video shortly, sharing more of my thoughts, ideas, and whatever about the world and reality, because we are here to design it.